describe it, it is as large as 60 football fields put next to each other. The job total over the course of a 20-year construction project. So that's what this is. So think about it if you're in the trades or you're working in construction. You're talking about a scenario where you could have a young apprentice get on a work site today and potentially even retire from that same site. Just something that we just never have had here in upstate New York. It's a construction project where you're going to see 5,000 construction jobs on average. There is a project labor agreement, so local labor will be working on this extensively, but that won't be enough. So you'll see folks in from across the state, you'll see folks in from across the country here calling Onondaga County home, maybe permanently. The $100 billion 4FAB project will begin as follows. The rest of 2023 will be a process where we're getting the site ready. Where the site needs to go through a site plan, it needs to go through environmental reviews at both the state level and the federal level to study things like traffic, and that will be a question here that we'll answer more specifically, to study how you move wetlands on the site and or replace wetlands, right? You need a wetland mitigation strategy that will need approval. Look at other things and other economic, environmental impacts related to the communities here. Same thing for NEPA, the federal process, right? The state has a very strong process, so NEPA will probably be very similar to that. Once that is all complete and the site plan goes through the proper reviews with the town government, the town of Clay, then we'll get a green light and we'll start probably some light construction at the end of 2023 if everything goes well. In 2024, there will be full-blown construction. That will be completed probably at the end of 2025. At that time, all of the suppliers that we are working very hard to co-locate in Onondaga County with Micron, and we will have a lot of success with that. All the suppliers will then need to get their tools that service Micron into the fab, the first fab. And then products need to be made in 2026. And at that time, the second fab will start construction. So that's kind of a timeline, that's kind of the history. $100 billion, 9,000 direct jobs. There's essentially 3 different studies done by various parties, Micron, the state of New York, Empire State Development. We're looking anywhere between 45 to 60,000 total jobs from this, most of which we'll capture in our county in central New York. Some other communities will see that growth as well in New York State. But we are the hub for memory technology in the world now. The leading memory technology company in the world who dominates the manufacturing process outside of 2 companies in China will be here in creating these jobs. So exciting is not even the right word. We haven't even got into the work that Micron's Foundation's doing. I will share this piece with you too. Part of this process was a discussion about community, and there's a community benefits agreement where there's a community fund that has been created where Micron is putting in at least $250 million over 20 years, could get up to as much as $300 million. The state of New York and other partners will match that investment, and this fund will have an advisory committee made up of community members that will then advise Micron on investments in the community, investments in early childhood, investments in daycare, investments in STEM-related education. They've already invested $500,000 in the most, $500,000 in the YMCA for childcare, $10 million they've already invested for STEM and STEAM partnerships, much of that going to the new countywide STEAM school at the old Central Tech in downtown Syracuse. And so that's unprecedented. That has never happened. That is the model that the federal government is using when they give out other chip grants for other companies and communities. In addition to that, Micron has a foundation. There's an individual who's on first name basis with all of our superintendents now, Robert Simmons, who has been coming into this community and setting up STEAM and STEM camps with all of our school districts. Understanding that we're preparing a workforce for them today and it needs to start today. And so I know they visited Dr. Desiato, they spent a lot of